Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's February 5th. We're diving into the fast break slate on NBA Top Shot. This is going to be the new format every morning before 9 a.m. Hopefully, the new video will be up for the day, breaking down what we have going on for tonight's slate. And if you haven't heard yet, we've also set up a little fast break VIP membership where you'll get a second video later on in the day where we have more injury news, more better NBA projections, and all that stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, sign up for that. You can find a little join button below. We'll also do a big overview every time a new run of Fast Break comes out so we can break down what are the best days to punt, the best days to attack, stuff like that. So today, let's dive in, right? It's February 5th. We have 45 rebounds and 25 assists. That's what we need to get to tonight, right? We're going to start over at Underdog. And before we actually do that, to look at some of these pick'ems to see where we can gain an advantage early on, let's see real quick just what we have for games tonight. We had a bunch last night. Tonight we have the Lakers and the Hornets. That's a fun one. Sacramento and Cleveland, Dallas at Philly, the Clippers at Atlanta, Golden State at Brooklyn. Excuse me again. And then the last one we have Toronto at New Orleans. So, and you know what? This is a good one because by 10 o'clock Eastern time, all the games are going to be over. And as an old person, that's a thing I appreciate. So let's head on over there right now to the pick'em sections. And the first guy that's going to stand out is going to be Luka. So you see Luka right here. He's projected for 9.5 assists with 10 rebounds, right? And again, for today, we're just trying to hammer out as we look over at the slate one more time, right? We're trying to hammer out those rebounds and assists. We need to get 9 per person and then 5 dimes. So we can get away with hammering one big that doesn't get a lot of assists because really just averaging 5 assists per person isn't the craziest thing that we need to do. Now, looking at rebounds and assists just moving forward, right? The only other time that we really have a big rebound guy is on February 9th for offensive rebounds. And then the other one, there was a double-double on February 13th. Those are like the 2 times where you would really need to be hammering the rebound guys. Outside of that, I think he can kind of get away with, I know there's 25 rebounds and 10 3-pointers. So I don't know if Luka's somebody you want to hold on to something else, like for 150 total points or plus minus or whatever. I totally get it. But Luka seems to be like the smash for tonight, right? Because again, 9.5 assists, 10 rebounds. We love that. Let's keep moving in that game. In that same game, you see Maxey is set to go up against Dallas, right? We had Sixers and Mavs. I don't really love this one as much here. So you see 6.5 assists, 3.5 rebounds. The one nice thing, I mean, most of the usage is going to run through Tyrese Maxey with no Joel Embiid as he's having a flat procedure. So Maxey's probably on the short list, but I bet we can find some better targets here. Tobias Harris, looking at his rebounds, he is up at 6.5 rebounds, but I don't think you need to do it there. And then Kyrie Irving's projected to play for the first time in a while. Good to have him back in sports. He's 10.5 rebounds and assists combined. I think we're off him tonight. Now, LeBron and AD, who I'm not sure if they have them listed as questionable. They both played against the Knicks this weekend, and they looked good, right? So LeBron here, 7.5 rebounds, 8.5 assists. We love that. That's really good. We enjoy that quite a bit. Again, we are trying to get to that 9 rebound average, but I do think, if you're able to play one guy who is going to go for like 15 or something or 12, something like that, then it gives you some more security. So I kind of actually want to go to Anthony Davis next because he's at 12.5 rebounds and 4 assists. And again, 5 assists was the goal, right? So per player. So I think Anthony Davis is honestly the play for the Lakers. I think AD is the first guy that you want to target. The Charlotte Hornets are just dog doo-doo against the sorry, my desk is breaking in real time. They're just doo-doo against the bigs. And so Anthony Davis is in a prime matchup. We also saw LeBron go off in the Knicks game. Maybe it's AD's turn, So I really do like AD. He's probably my favorite play tonight. Again, 12.5 rebounds for just the pick 'em, which means we can go higher than that. And same thing with 4 assists. Like if you told me we got 12 boards and 4 dimes, even 12 boards and 3 dimes from AD, we can make up those assists somewhere else, especially if you're playing somebody like Luka. Miles, that piece of poop, Bridges, he's projected for 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I don't think you need to do it. I think that's a little bit thin. Let's go to Sacramento and Cleveland, because here I do think we can attack some bros. So Fox is projected here for 8 rebounds and assists. I know Fox is like, oh, like the beam, baby. I don't think Fox is a play tonight. Sabonis, however, is an absolute play. He's projected for 13.5 rebounds. He's been a rebounding machine. He also is projected for 8 assists. So I just got done saying Anthony Davis is my favorite play for the night, but no, it's Sabonis. Sabone is the guy. Sabonis and AD should be your first 2 clicks for tonight, I think. I know we've got the double-double in offensive rebounds, but if you're just focusing on getting tonight's win and then moving forward, Sabonis and AD are your 2 first guys. I think we could actually look at Jared Allen and Evan Mobley as well. So Mobley's minutes are still pretty tight, so maybe we stay away from this yet. Although we saw him have a monster game the other night, but you can see he's projected for 9.5 rebounds and assists. I don't think you need to do that. Jared Allen, on the other hand, however, 11.5 rebounds. We do like that. However, he's only projected for 2 assists. So Sabonis and AD, Sabonis, AD, and Luka are probably the first 3 guys so far as we continue to move through this slate. I don't think you want to do anything else with them. Golden State and Brooklyn here. You see our friend Stephen Curry. Wow, we don't have like a straight assist line here. 4.5 rebounds. We don't have rebounds and assists, but I would say he's probably at 5 assists. I don't think you need to do it here. I don't think you need Steph. Draymond, though, we can talk about Draymond. 13.5 rebounds and assists. So that puts him at 6.5 assists, 7.5 rebounds. I think if you are throwing out Sabonis and AD and you're not using LeBron or something, I do think you could use Draymond and Luka. That would be like a pretty solid core right there, because I do think we've seen Draymond get double-digit assists, right? And if you're thinking Luka is going to get you double digits too, like he saves you a position, I think Draymond's a fine play. Claxton, I don't think we're doing anything with. I actually think I think Draymond's probably the only play from this Brooklyn Golden State game. And then we move to Clippers in Atlanta, which there should be a ton of points. James Harden is a smash. James Harden, absolute smash, projected for 5 rebounds and 9 assists. So that's, we love that. 14.5 rebounds and assists. I guess I'd want this rebound number to be a little bit higher, but there's going to be just so many points in this game. There's going to be so many points in this game. You see Kawhi at 6.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. I don't think you need to do that. Trey, though, we've got Trey at 12.5 rebounds. However, his assist line is probably most of that, right? Because he's been averaging like 10 assists a game. So I don't think you actually want to. I think that's probably a little too thin, unless you do believe you're going to get, because what is it? We need to average 9 boards, right? It's 9 boards and 5 assists. I don't think you can play Trey. I don't think you can. Jaylen Johnson here at 9.5 rebounds, 3 assists. That might be a little too thin. DeJounte at 5.5 assists, 5 rebounds. Also a little too thin. Also, welcome to New York, baby. I'm not sure if you can hear that. We get a fire truck early in the morning. Plumlee, I don't think so. You know who we can talk about those? Onyeka Okongwu, who's probably here we go. I'm looking at it. Rebounds and points and assists at 13.5. But what's his point? 12. Okay, so they only have him for 1 assist. There's no Clint Capella for the next couple of weeks or 7 to 10 days. So Okongwu should eat up all of the rebounds. So I do like the matchup for rebounds, but the assists might be a little too thin here. And then the last game of the night, I do think we can get some action from. I think Brandon Ingram here, right? So an average of 6 assists, 5.5 rebounds. Again, if you're pairing these guys up with some big rebounders, you can get away with it. Zion, not really a good rebounder. You see 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists. I think I'd play Brandon Ingram over him. And then Jonas, my name is Jonas Valanciunas. He's projected for 12.5 rebounds and assists, which is 10 boards and 2 dimes. Scotty Barnes, do we not have a Barnes lineup? All right, so we don't have Toronto stuff yet. And the reason is I think they're on a back-to-back. We had RJ, who was questionable. Jakob Poeltl just came back from injury. Maybe they rest some of their bros. So we got to pay attention to the Toronto news. But what I would say is that RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl would all be in play. I think I would rank them Scotty, RJ, Poeltl, even though Scotty's been just frustrating to roster. But I think tonight, the way you build this out, if you're not putting any restrictions or limitations on your squad, you're starting with Luka to get a good floor and ceiling on both assists and rebounds. You're getting Sabonis in next, because Sabonis, we've seen Sabonis get triple doubles, right? Like I feel it's I think he's going to get at least 5 assists, but he could get you up to 8 or 9. He also gives you a nice big boost in rebounds. And then I think I'm putting in AD, because I think AD really could get 20 boards tonight. So I would start with those 3. And then I do think you could get away with LeBron, I think would be fine. We mentioned We mentioned that one of these Raptors I do think is going to be a good play once we get a better word for what the injury situation is in Toronto. I think those are great calls. We mentioned LeBron. I know I'm blanking on somebody that I said I really like. James Harden. I think James Harden is still an excellent play this game week, and Draymond Green. I think after that, though, it does get pretty thin. And so I know a lot of people are going to try to get creative because they don't want to waste their guys. Jared Allen is the other one that we could talk a little bit about, but I think I would just be making sure I secure the W and starting my rosters with definitely AD and Sabonis and throwing Luka in there as well. Because honestly, those three might be able to get you there tonight. So that's it, baby. If you are in the Fast Break tier VIP, which I think is only $3.99, if you're in there, you'll get a second video probably around 3:30 or 4, somewhere around that time, once we have more injury news and better projections that are locked and loaded. So if you're in there, I'll see you a little bit later. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate everyone being here in the Fast Break section of Team Hold. But we are out. Happy Monday.
Well, the top shot streets are